This is James Lupton, delighted to be joined with Orlando Canizales. Orlando, how are you, sir?
Pretty good, sir. How about yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for joining me. I want to take you back to the beginning. I believe you began training in boxing at the age of 10 years old. Do you remember the first day you walked into the gym, or what was your earliest memory of walking into the boxing gym?
Well, actually, yeah, I was 10 years old when I started boxing, and I started boxing because of my brother. He's the one that started first at the Norwest Boys and Girls Club, and that's how I started. He started first. My brother's older than me. My brother Gabby, he started at the Boys and Girls Club, and one day I went with him to the Boys and Girls Club, and that's how I started boxing at the age of 10.
What was it like when you followed your brother into the gym, and how did you find it for yourself?
I'm sorry, what was it? What was it again?
How was it for you when you walked into the gym? Obviously, you went because your brother done it, but for you personally, how was the experience for you walking into that gym for the first time?
Well, I mean, I was 10 years old. I was a little kid, and for me, it was just so fun. I mean, it was like, I was 10 years old, and I don't know, I mean, at that time, I know I was gonna like it or if I was gonna last that long, or I mean, I didn't know anything. I just tried it. So for me, it was something new that never done it. I never done anything like that, and it was just like, it was one of those try to just to fill out the process to see how if I liked it or not.
And obviously, boxing alongside your brother, you mentioned that he's older than you, Gabby. You started boxing because of Gabby. What was that like to grow up, from the age of 10 all the way through to your professional career boxing alongside your brother?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, my brother, she started boxing, and then we just, we continue boxing as an amateurs, and as we grew older, I mean, he won some Golden Gloves titles, and then he won, when he turned pro, and his goal was to be a world champion, and he accomplished that goal. And when he was like 20, I guess 20 something when he won the title. And I said, well, I mean, I wanna be a champion as well. I want to be a world champion too. And that's how I continued boxing because my goal was to be a world champion too.
What was it like between yourself and Gabby? I'm sure there's a few spars between the two of you, whether it's inside or outside the gym.
Oh yeah, we sparred a lot of times. I mean, we sparred many times, over 1,000 rounds. I mean, we like I said, we were helping each other out. We spar a lot, and he helped me, and I helped him. So it was some we did some really good sparring together.
Do you think it helped you, and do you think you helped Gabby grow as fighters by being brothers and having that relationship inside and outside the ring?
Uh, well, I think it helped in a way because, like, besides being my role model, I learned from his work ethic. Is not only training in the gym, but outside the gym as well. Like the things he would do. Like, I mean, he didn't smoke and drink, and the way he was really disciplined. He dedicated to. He would run like every day, even when it rained and it's cold weather, he would still run like that. I mean, like, and that's part of the discipline, and I learned that from him that no matter what, you need to have discipline to be successful in sport.
Now, when I was doing my research for this interview, Orlando, I couldn't find an awful lot of information or history about your amateur career. The only thing I could find records of was the 83 Golden Gloves tournament. So I was going to ask you, your amateur career, what was that like? What was your favorite moments of that?
Yeah. Well, I didn't really have my amateur career. I never was a national champion. I won some state titles, the state Golden Gloves and the state Junior Olympics. And in the nationals, I lost. I never won any national titles. But basically, I mean, I had a total of 120 amateur fights, and but I won several, like two or three state titles, but I never won any national titles. So
Was you always, because of that and because of the lack of national titles, do you feel you was ever overlooked when you turned professional?
I'm sorry, I couldn't. What was that again?
Do you feel when you turned professional, because of your lack of accolades as an amateur, was you often overlooked or written off at all?
No, I mean, my goal, that didn't matter because the amateur is something else, and pro is a total different sport. I mean, it's a total different thing, you know. And to me, my goal was to win a world title, even though I never won anything. Like I said, I never won any national titles, and as an amateur, I know pro was going to be different, and because I think my style of boxing, my style of fighting was more of a professional fighter than amateur because an amateur is only 3 rounds, 3 minute rounds, 3 rounds, and in pro, well, it's more than four, six, eight, and ten in championship fights are 12 rounds, and I had the style of a professional, so. And that was my goal. I thought that, I thought that I had a good chance of being a world champion as a professional.
So you did turn professional. You had your debut August 1984. By the end of 1985, you'd had 10 professional bouts. How important was it for you to be so active for your progression?
Well, I mean, it's a learning experience. I mean, and if you want to win a title or you want to fight for a title, you do it as you get the more experience, and you want to do it at an early age because if you're gonna do something, it's when you're in your prime. Because after 28, 29, 30, I mean, it's not the same. Your body's not the same. It doesn't react the same. So for me to be active and to stay active, it was important, and that's why I signed with my manager Bob Spagnola and Jesse Reed. They're my trainers, and they helped me. They helped me in my career, and they kept me busy, and they took me to fight for a world title.
Absolutely. Um, July 1986, you suffered your first defeat as a pro, Paul Gonzalez. How did the loss affect you, and how did you deal with losing?
Well, I mean, it was a learning experience. I mean, I trained hard for that fight, but the thing is that I didn't know it was going to be outdoors, outside. I didn't prepare myself or train outdoors to be because I, it was going to be outside. So I didn't train to be outside. So for me, it was a learning experience. It was hot. Uh, I mean, it was super hot, and it was just it was my first defeat, and I think I had like 10 or 12 professional fights or something like that. I was just beginning, so if for me it was a learning experience, and after that I didn't lose. Maybe after, like, I went on a roll for like 20, 30 fights without losing.
Did you ever feel down? A lot of fighters, after their first loss especially, they hit sort of not rock bottom as such, but they hit a bit of a lull. They beat themselves up a little bit and they start to question themselves sometimes. Did you ever slip into that at all?
Well, at that time, I mean, you get, I think it was those kind of fights that you sometimes you need those fights to see where you're at, to see if you'll be able to take it, or to go to the next level. And for me, it was a learning experience, like I said. And after that, I learned from my experience, and I said that, after that, it was a total different. I was a total different person. I took everything more seriously, and I prepare myself better than in my other fights. And like I said, and after that, I didn't lose for like the next 30 fights. I mean, after I won the title, and like I said, it was a learning experience for me, and I learned from that.
Did your, in terms of that, you say you worked harder, you trained harder. Did it change your mindset and mentality going forward?
Well, in a way, yes, because I learned that you have to go through different obstacles, and you have to overcome obstacles because, like I said, it was outdoors, it was hot, and it was like you just gotta fight it through everything, no matter what, and you have to put your best effort to to overcome any obstacles, and that's the purpose. I mean, and I learned from that no matter what, you have to fight through pain, or no matter what, like I said, and to be able to accomplish something.
Now, it was just 9 weeks later you were back in the ring, and like you say, you went on almost a 30 fight win streak. So this was the first one after your loss. Did that help you getting straight back into the ring so soon after the defeat?
Well, I mean, it's about staying active. I mean, my trainer, well, they gave me a chance, the opportunity. My manager, he got me in a fight, and then we fought some after Gonzalez, I fought some different tough contenders, and like I said, there were tests. I mean, sometimes you get to fight guys that to so you can test tough guys and or contenders or rank fighters that to be able to see how you would do it. And like I said, it's just a matter of testing to see if you're gonna make it or not. You're gonna make it in the sport of boxing.
November 1987, let's fast forward to there. You won the NABF flyweight title. In the very next fight, you won the USBA super flyweight title. And the fight after that, you win the IBF world title at bantamweight. So firstly, just talk to me about the progression in weight divisions, because that's three fights at three different weights in a row there. What was the thinking behind that? Was it just opportunities, or was it a case of you plan this move?
Actually, no, it was just I mean, I was it was just an opportunity to fight for a title because I had won the USB title, the 150 at 115 super flyweight. And after I won that USB title, they offered me to fight a 118 to fight for the IBF title with 7 Cybrooks. And I took the opportunity. I mean, I ain't go back. I mean, I was able to make 115 also, but I moved up to 118 and I took that I took that opportunity to fight for a world title because sometimes not many opportunities come along the way, and so I took advantage of that, and holding before. I mean, I was able to become world champion after that.
Did it come easier or harder to fight on fight night conditions at the higher weights?
No, for me, like I said, for me, I didn't have any problems. I adjusted, adapted to that weight. So I mean, in like I said, I was 118 in bantamweight for almost what 6 7 years world champion. So at the end of I was like 28 or almost, yeah, 28 29 when I mean I stayed for a bantamweight for a long time, and it was hard for making that weight. But if but like I said, for me making weight at first, it was easy. I mean, I didn't have any problem making 118.
Talk to me about the emotions when the fight with Kelvin Seabrooks was waved off in the 15th round. You become world champion. What was your immediate emotion like?
I mean, I can't really remember some 40 years ago what happened, but I know that I was just so happy and excited, and I guess I was lost for words, and I was just so excited that I was able to accomplish my dream to become a world champion.
Was it nice to accomplish that dream, but also because it was something your brother had achieved as well in the same weight class at the same age as well? I think both pair of you ended up winning that same title at the same age. That's some achievement.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was special. Yeah, I mean, in any way, but whenever you win a title in any way, it's special. I mean, it's something, it's a some everybody's dream to be a world champion. So, but yeah, I mean, it was really. I mean, like I said, I was really excited. I mean, it was just like I said, I was just super excited to win a world title.
Talk to me about from now. So obviously you mentioned obviously some 40 years ago, and we're still talking about it now. How proud are you to have won that world title and be in the history books?
Well, I mean, I'm very proud of many things that I've accomplished, and of course, being a world champion or winning a world title. It's a, a great feeling, and so it's something that I'm very proud of that I was able to accomplish that goal.
And are you also proud of the fact that you had such a long reign as well? I think it was 15 title defenses.
Right. Well, yeah, 16,000 defenses, and I'm proud of that. I've also that I made history. At right now, I'm the longest reigning champion at 16,000 defenses. I broke the record, and it's and as of today, I'm still the title holder for defenses in the bantamweight divisions at 16.
Do you feel like, as I mentioned earlier, potentially written off and things like that because of your amateur career, where it wasn't, you weren't a blue chip prospect, it wasn't necessarily a stellar amateur career. Does that give you great pride in what you achieved as a professional, even though you knew it was a different sport entirely? Do you feel that you maybe proved some people wrong?
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, not many when I was fighting amateur, and not many people gave me that the chance that or thought that one day I'll be a world champion. So yeah, I made a lot of people believe in me, and because at first they didn't think I could make it as a professional because I didn't have a, a spectacular amateur career, but as a pro, I mean, it was a total different thing. I mean, it was just like I broke all kinds as a professional. I broke all kinds of records and shattered all kinds of records, and it was just like it's just amazing what I was able to accomplish as a professional.
When you won that world title, or do you remember anything that your brother had said to you and congratulating you at the time?
No, he was just happy. I mean, he just congratulated me. He was happy for me that I was able to accomplish my goal, my dream. Like, because he was a world champion already back then, but and he lost his title, but at least he got to win a world title. But he was just happy for me that I was able to to be a to win a world title as well.
You mentioned earlier that Gabby, he was your role model. He's somebody that you looked up to as your big brother. And obviously you followed him into the sport and it served you both very, very well. I asked you there, did he say anything when you won the world title? But was at any point in your career any key advice that Gabby gave you that stuck with you throughout your career?
Well, not advice that he never really told me anything, but just like the only the thing that I would see him the way he's worth it was his work ethics was everything to me. I mean the way he would train, the way he would it's and that was enough for me. I mean he didn't have to say anything, but just the way he would sacrifice his everything. I mean he didn't have any friends, and like I said, he wouldn't go out any friends. He wouldn't drink or smoke, and he was very disciplined, dedicated. I mean, he would run every day, and he wouldn't miss a day in the gym. And even if he was sick, he would still run and go to the gym. I mean, like sacrifices that he would make, and it's like, I mean, that's all I needed to. I mean, for me to learn from him that that you got to make sacrifices and to be able to accomplish your goals.
Now, after winning that world title against Seabrooks, just 5 fights later, you fought Paul Gonzalez again and you got your revenge against him. How did that feel for you on a personal level?
Well, I feel I mean, it was of course I was able to avenge my loss, but yeah, I mean, it was a different it was a different I was a different person, a different fighter. I mean, several years later, I'm the world champion, so I had a different mentality since the first time we fought, and I mean, I was wiser and older, and it was just like I said, I was a world champion, and I was no way of winning, losing that fight, and of course, I was happy that I was able to to avenge my loss against him.
Obviously, I've mentioned a few points from your career, title fights and things like that, but I want to ask you, what was your favorite memory from your career?
I mean, it's really hard to pinpoint one memory, but I mean, I had several. I mean, in my career, I had several. You could say glory moments. Winning the title, fighting here at home. I was the first person. I mean, I was the first fighter in my hometown to fight for a world title or defend my fight for a world title here in Laredo, defend my title here in Laredo. First world championship ever in Laredo, and also when I was inducted to the Boxing Hall of Fame. I mean, that was the zenith of my career, that to be able to to get a ring and be among the best of the best.
Just on those 2 points. So first of all, bringing a world championship fight to your hometown, was that nice to give back to your hometown and your fans there?
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, it was super excited. I mean, we're back then. We was maybe a town of maybe 150,000, close to maybe 200,000. and I was the talk of the town. I mean, it was everybody was, and back then we didn't have a place to have the fight because no big place. We didn't have any civic centers. There was like maybe the most it was like 2,000 venue that we had. So we had it outdoors, and they barely put like 5,000 people. But I was the talk of the town, and that for the whole month they were talking about the fight with Billy Hardy, and it was going to be a good fight because it was a rematch. It was a rematch against Billy Hardy. So everybody was talking about that fight, and so like I said it was just uh, amazing, and it just like that everything turned out well for me and for everyone here in Laredo.
And the other memory you mentioned there was being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I think as a fighter, when all fighters start out, the pinnacle is becoming a world champion. I don't think anybody really feels that they will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. For you, how did it feel to be put in this, legendary status of the Hall of Fame?
Well, I mean, like I said, you said like yeah, at first, I mean, your goal is to be a world champion, and you're not even thinking about being the Hall of Fame. You just want to be a world champion and one day, and for me, being a world champion and then breaking records and it was for me it was not only to be a world champion, but I wanted to break the record, which I did, and I knew sooner or later the Hall of Fame was going to be, in the process. And when they called me, when they 10 years after when I retired, they called me. I think it was yeah, close to 10 years later after retired, they called me from the Hall of Fame, and they told me that I was chosen. I was, I mean, I was so happy. It was just an amazing feeling to get that call, and they told me that I was going to be inducted and enshrined into the Hall of Fame, and it was like, oh, I just couldn't believe it. It was just an amazing feeling.
With obviously every high, there's always a low as well. Are there any regrets you have from your boxing career?
Well, that loss with when I lost with with Fro Vasquez, when I relinquished my title as a bantamweight to move up to 120, 122, that fight with Wolf Vasquez, even though I think I won, I think I could have done a little bit better. And it's just like, it was just bad timing. It was the first week in January, right after Christmas and the holidays. And I mean, there's no excuses, right? But I think it was just like I could have trained somewhere else and prepare myself better. And that's the only thing that I regret now.
And you mentioned earlier on you train a Jesse Reed, um, obviously a legendary trainer in the sport of boxing. I want to ask you, what was he like to work with?
Oh, Jesse Reed, he's a great trainer. He's a positive person, motivator. I mean, he's just a great guy, a great trainer to have in your corner. Because, like I said, he's very positive, and he instills that positive vibes in you, and just makes you a better fighter, and makes you believe in yourself. And just like he's just a not only a good trainer but also a motivator. I mean, he motivates you to be better than what you really are.
How important is that relationship between fighter and coach?
Well, I think it's very important because I mean you rely on each other. I mean, you as a trainer coach, you respect him, and you believe in what he tells you. I mean, because he's a trainer, he's your coach, and you have to rely on him what he tells you. So I think it's very important to have a good communication and have a good relationship between both.
Now, your final fight, you lost and you retired after that last fight. Did you find it difficult to retire, considering you've been boxing since you was 10 years old?
Uh, yeah, I know. My last fight, I had like almost 60 professional fights, or well, I have 50, and yeah, but I felt my last couple of fights, I just felt burnt out. I did it for like 23 years already for amateur and pro, 23 total years, and I just felt burnt out after so many wars, so many fights. And I said, you know what, I think this is enough. I think I was 33 years old when I fought my last fight, and I said, I think it's time to hang up the gloves and do something else.
Did you ever feel a weight was lifted off your shoulders when you did retire?
Uh, well, I mean, it was for me. It was sad because like I said, I did it for 23 years, and to just not do it anymore. It was like, I mean, because I like traveling, I like boxing, I like training, like I said, I would like to try. I like traveling and fighting, and I was gonna do that anymore. So, and it was it was heartbreaking at that time, but I knew that there's a time for everything. I mean, it was time for me to to say goodbye to the sport and do something else. And but I said I had no regrets. I did great, and like I said, I had no regrets.
And how has life been for you after boxing?
Oh, life after Boston has been great. I mean, I still get interviews, recognitions, and I mean it's like it's been great. I still work out, and I'm not I'm 59 right now, and I still work out, do train, and I'm not I don't have any illness or disease or anything like that. Like I still have I'm fortunate enough to work out, and I still do, and I work for the city of Laredo. I've been working here for almost 20 years already. I can retire, but I'm gonna wait maybe a couple more years before I retire, and they treat me nice. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, the city of Laredo officials, they're amazing. They treat me nice, and like I said, I can't complain. And so far, life's been good after I've been retired more than almost what 30 about 30 years, so it's like that, or 25 years, like yeah, about 25 years. 1998 was my last fight. Is Yeah, it's about 27 years that I fought my last fight, and so far everything's been good.
And do you still watch the boxing now? You still a fan of the sport?
Oh yes, I still follow. Yeah, I still follow the sport. I love watching boxing. I still follow Lomachenko, Canelo, Dubois, and I was also European fighters from Anthony Joshua and those guys. And I mean, I still follow boxing. I love it. I mean, it's in my blood. I mean, I've been doing it for ever since I was 10 years old, and I don't think I'm gonna stop. I mean, I know people they when they retire they don't want to know anything about boxing, but not me. I know people they just leave boxing and that's it. They don't want to know anything. But no, I think boxing is in my blood, and I just love it, and I still continue to watch it and support it.
Absolutely. Orlando, I want to thank you very much for your time. It's been a real pleasure speaking to you and going through your career.
No, thank you, appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
No problems at all anytime. Thanks, Orlando.